Okay, next job up is another 1972 XA GT Falcon. So we've got all the trims. First thing we've got to do is get rid of all this gunge. Okay, all that there is going to prevent any decent repairs. So we've got to get all that out. And then we can see how many dents and misshapes there are. That one I've just actually run a scotch down through. So you can see that's what I want to be working with. So everything's got to be cleaned first. Then we'll see the extent of all the damage. Okay. So we've given this one a bit of a polish up, and then that's when it reveals things like this. Okay, there's a dent there with a big scratch, and also one there. So this is, you know, when you think a trim is okay, it doesn't need much, just needs polishing, and that's what it reveals. So they always have to be linished, and yeah, gotta go through the whole process. And it will reveal anything that needs to be done. If you're lucky, then you'll get straight through that process quick. So now we're going to go backwards and get them out of here. So we're just getting all these undercut, which is part of the actual pressing, but it was dented as well. So all the way along this edge, which is what's taking all this time, we've knocked that up. As you can see there, it hasn't come up yet. The other one. All the way along there is up, smooth. Right the way along there, that's just that edge. So yeah, it's the finer details, and then we'll start doing anything on the front. But I wanted to get that edge as good as, because it was up and down, some was flat, some wasn't. So if the majority of it was going to be polished, that'd be good. Okay, so the XA GT Falcon trims, they've all been repaired, all the dents have been taken out, filed flat, linished. All the backs have been cleaned, and they've had their first cut. We're going to be buffing them up pretty soon. So that's these, and then we have these over here, which are part of the ones that are just going to get painted. So as you can see, the back is not very nice. There's all sorts of paint and silicone and stuff in the back. So there's one I made earlier. I put a scotch disc down there to clean all the back best I can, obviously. When it's going to get painted, it'll get some sort of chemical which will clean it up. Then the front, obviously, there's a lot of pitting. All these areas here is pitting, so there's not really much I can do about that without spending a lot of time on it. It's going to get painted. As you can see on this one, I've linished a couple times different grits to get that out. It's not as bad now, but there's still, you know, if this was going to be polished, you're going to see it. But we don't need to get it to a polished finish, just need to get it nice and clean and smooth, ready to be painted. So we've got 4 of them to do, and then the windscreen mouldings as well, they're going to be painted. So we're going to carry on and linish them and see what repairs need to be done on them. So now this one's been linished and cleaned. The pitting is pretty severe on this one, all the way along. So if this was going to be a mirror polished trim, would cause a lot of problems, a lot of time to try and get that out. But you don't know how deep that goes, so you can't linish and linish and linish, because you're just going to end up with the material going too thin all the way along. All along these edges here, there was a lot of pitting which all was revealed. I couldn't see before, but once that was Scotch pad cleaned, then you could see all the little tiny little pit marks all the way along. Some are underneath, like by there, so I kind of don't need to try and get that out. But on the direct edge, I've cleaned out all that all the way down through. And yeah, just check and see if there are any little marks, any little dents we can improve on, maybe. And that's about it for that. Okay, so here are the last 2. I cleaned the backs. This one's got a couple of dents there, here, but this one, a little bit different, quite a bit more on this one, a bit severe on the actual edge, that edge, all the way along. We're going to sort that out. So let's get on with that, linish it back up, and that's the painted ones done. And there we have it, another set of Ford Falcon XA GT Mouldings restored and back to all their glory. Okay, thanks for watching, see you on the next one.